This is Andrew bringing you another Keyforge deck review. This one is CI Slugscream of the Barbaric Hamlet, which is Brobnar, Untamed, and Shadows. And this one I got off of eBay. And yeah, had an eBay deal where eBay wanted to give me $5 off, so I went out and bought a little stuff. Yeah, and so it's nothing crazy, but fun in any case. And by the way, always worth just pointing out these sort of little human things. It looked like it wasn't going to be delivered on time, so I started to get frustrated, and then I thought, I'll message the seller. I did. They got back to me, said, "Oh, whoops, there's a problem at the post office. I'll get it taken care of." I thought, great, that's reasonable. Probably be a little late. That's a bummer, but it's okay. And you know what? It ended up not being late. So there you go. All right, let's jump into it. Starting off with Brobnar, we have Burn the Stockpile, which is fantastic amber control. If your opponent has 7 or more, they lose 4. Coward's End, decent board control here. When you play it, you destroy each undamaged creature and you gain 3 chains. Punch, gain a bonus amber, deal 3 damage to a creature. Smith, gain a bonus amber and 2 extra if you control more creatures than your opponent. Pile of Skulls is an artifact that says each time an enemy creature is destroyed during your turn, a friendly creature captures 1. Valder is a 6-power giant that deals +2 when attacking an enemy creature on the flank. Got 2 Valders. We have a Bumsy, 5-power giant. After you play it, your opponent loses 1. Fire Spitter is a 5-power giant with an armor. It says before fight, deal 1 damage to each enemy creature. Ganger Chieftain is a 5-power giant that after playing lets you ready and fight with a neighboring creature. And Hebe the Huge is a 6-power giant knight that after being played deals 2 damage to each other undamaged creature. And Troll is a 7-power giant that after reaping heals 3 damage. So we have some decent amber control with the Burn the Stockpile and the Bumsy. But a lot of the real power here is going to come from the Pile of Skulls. For Pile of Skulls to make sense, you need some board control. And I think we have it. I mean, we have a bunch of big creatures here that, unless we're facing a King of the Crag, we have a pretty good shot at owning the board. And can even imagine situations where you drop a Hebe and wipe out a bunch of creatures, capture a bunch. So we have a good shot at messing a lot with the opponent's amber capabilities that way. Alright, let's go to Shadows. Lights Out is an action with a bonus amber. You return 2 enemy creatures to their owner's hand. That, of course, is going to help with board control. We have 2 of those. Oubliette also helps with board control. It after you play it, you purge a creature with power 3 or lower. This is fantastic for cards like Brend or Duskwitch. Brend it gets rid of without triggering the destroyed effect, and Duskwitch it just gets rid of, so you don't have to see it again. Pawn Sacrifice gets us a bonus amber, and sacrifices a friendly creature, and if you do that, then you deal 3 damage each to 2 creatures. Now, keep in mind, that could potentially trigger the Pile of Skulls. So each time that we see one of these kill cards, even outside of Brobnar, it could potentially be capturing an amber as well. Relentless Whispers gains you an amber, and then you deal 2 damage to a creature, and if the damage destroys that creature, steal 1. Very nice. Too Much to Protect gives us a bonus amber, and you steal all but 6 of your opponent's amber. One really nice play here is if you are getting good capture effects, then your opponent might have a turn where they get it all back, and you can drop the Too Much to Protect. They'll probably end up playing around that, but even then, that's putting them in a tough situation. We might be able to use Master Plan even to time that really well, just depending on how things go. Master Plan is an artifact with a bonus amber. When you play it, you put a card from your hand face down beneath it, and it has the Omni effect. You play the card beneath it, and then you sacrifice it. Special Delivery is an artifact with a bonus amber. It has Omni. Sacrifice it to deal 3 damage to a flank creature. People often forget that it says flank creature, and if this damage destroys that creature, you purge it. Nexus is a 3-power cyborg thief with elusive. After it reaps, you use an opponent's artifact as if it were yours. Dodger is a 5-power elf thief. After it fights, you steal 1. Shadow Self is very nice with the Dodger. It is a 9-power specter. It deals no damage when fighting, and damage dealt to its neighbors, its non-specter neighbors, is dealt to it instead. So you put the Dodger next to the Shadow Self, and you can get some extra value fights out of the Dodger, or you can use it to protect a creature like Nexus. Dusk Runner is an upgrade that says this creature gains Reap, steal 1. That would be very nice also to put on the Nexus, although, putting it on a big Robnar creature isn't a bad idea either. I'd really love to put it on Troll, right? Just Reap every turn. If the opponent tries to kill it, they're going to have to do a lot of work in 1 turn, or it'll just heal up and steal. Alright, and Untamed. Full Moon. For the remainder of the turn, gain an amber each time you play a creature. We have Key Charge, which says after you play it, lose an amber, and if you do, you can forge a key at current cost. Nocturnal Maneuver. Gain a bonus amber, exhaust up to 3 creatures. Very good soft board control there. Troop Call, gain a bonus amber, return each friendly Niffle creature from your discard pile and from play to your hand. That can potentially be really good with the Full Moon. And this guarantees us we're going to get some Niffle Apes. Vigor gives us a bonus amber, and you heal up to 3 damage from a creature, which is likely to actually have somewhere to go, right, with all that Brobnar. And if you healed 3 damage, then you gain 1. It's also very good on the Shadow Self. Ancient Bear is a 5-power beast with Assault 2. Very good. Big Twig is also huge. It's a 7-power beast. It can only fight stunned creatures. After it reaps, you stun and exhaust a creature. That's also really nice soft board control. I almost never want to use it to fight because that reap effect is so strong. Chota Hazri is another key cheat here. It's a 3-power human witch. After you play it, you lose an amber, and if you do, you can forge a key at current cost. Snufflegator is a 4-power beast with skirmish. We have our Niffle Ape here, 2 of them. It's a 3-power beast with the Niffle trait, and while Niffle Ape is attacking, ignore, taunt, and elusive. And then lastly, we have Witch of the Eye, who's a 3-power human witch. After Witch of the Eye reaps, you return a card from your discard pile to your hand. Interesting. So, first off, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12 printed bonus amber, which isn't bad. We can count the Full Moon for, I'm sure, 1. Some of these are going to give us some more too. So I would expect a higher return there. Smith, we have a good shot at being able to actually use. We also have pretty good amber control in here. And on top of all that, we have some interesting combos. So the Pile of Skulls is actually going to be pretty good in here, and it's maybe going to be about as good as I would expect a Grunt Buggy to be in a big creature deck, especially considering we have some creatures that want to fight that are going to be doing destroy, so and that can take a beating. So we have some ability to really get and protect that amber. Snufflegator as well, good stuff. When I see Master Plan, I think, what am I going to put under there? Well, Too Much to Protect is a really good thing to put under the Master Plan, because that means that we could possibly fire that on a non-Shadows turn. Maybe you have a turn where you do Master Plan of Too Much to Protect into Key Charge or something. Or maybe you have Key Charge or Chota Hazri under Master Plan and do a Shadows turn where you Too Much to Protect into a Forge. So pretty good stuff you can do there. One of my favorite Untamed combos is if you have a Witch of the Eye and a Big Twig on the board and a Nocturnal Maneuvers in the bin, you can reap with the Witch of the Eye and Big Twig returning the Nocturnal Maneuvers to your hand, playing it, and in the end you gain 3 amber, exhaust 4 enemy creatures, and stun one of them. It gives you a really nice, soft board control, and you can imagine kind of going from that into, like, the next turn they drop more creatures and you do like a Coward's End Smith or something like that. There's really interesting setups that you can do through those kinds of setups, those kind of combos. So anyway, very fun stuff. I actually think this is a pretty good deck. I got it for, you know, less than 10 for sure. I think it was like maybe even less than 5. It was fairly cheap. And, you know, there's a lot of gems like this that you can find if you're willing to search around on eBay. Anyway, hope you enjoyed walking through this with me. I certainly enjoyed doing it. And until next time, happy forging.